Okay, today folks, we're going to see if we can tear down this mains pressure gas hot water system made by Rheem. The model's Stella, that might be a model number there. The reason why I'm hoping to do this is I didn't come across any similar models that have been previously torn down. The ones that I've seen seem to have a flue coming out the top. As you can see, this doesn't have a flue out the top, it vents out the side here and sucks in fresh air. This one started leaking some water, so we had to replace it. And I'm also curious to pull it apart to see what the failure actually was. And thirdly, I got a crazy plan to see if we can add a solar assisted mod. So the electric solar with some water elements will just continue to heat the water during the day, so the gas doesn't need to kick in. So to start with, I've just undone some rivets. Those rivets don't come stock. I had to put those in because for some reason the plastic top was popping off. So anyway, I've had those removed and underneath. So there's just a bit of tape holding that top section off. Pull that top piece of insulation off. Underneath we've got another ring piece of insulation. And then around the outside there, we can see obviously it's some sheet that's wrapped around that tank. I wasn't expecting fibrous type insulation, I was expecting expanding foam type insulation. Anyway, we'll continue on. Here's some more info and the instructions, just in case this is what somebody happens to be looking for. They're a bit of a bugger to light up, but if you have a bit of patience, it seems to be not too bad. Before we get too far ahead, I thought we'd have a look behind this plastic panel here. This is where the incoming gas mains pipeline comes in. This is obviously the gas controller. Similar design. There's a gas igniter, set it to ignite, and get right down low here and you can see a pilot light. Hopefully light. That was the problem, I couldn't get the pilot light lit and there was leaking some water inside here, so I kind of figured that something internal is opened up and the easiest thing to do would just be to replace it. So I picked up a second-hand one for $300 on Gumtree. Looks like they've used some clever pressed seam thing to secure the back to the front. So I'm going to just undo some of these screws here in the back and then tilt it on its tummy hopefully, and hopefully I can slide that section off the front. Just going to pull this relief valve off, take this front plastic cover off the front and a few more of these screws, see how we go. So I didn't have any luck sliding that along, so I've just had to lever it out with a screwdriver all the way along. It seems to be popping off okay. So just getting it in and sort of levering it out. So the heads of these screws are all rusted out, so I couldn't get a screwdriver in there. But I often find like old pair of side cutters, I can get a decent bit of purchase on them to remove them. Hopefully the next one will come loose. Yep, that's got that one, and hopefully, there we go, we'll remove those and continue on. So I've successfully undone this plastic cover, that's obviously the top vent there. This controller, I haven't really worked out how to remove it. I'll have a bit more of a look around and see if I can undo it. Just remove the top cover of that, and there's another capillary type tube there. Seems to duck inside the tank. I'm not really sure what that's all about. Okay, so there's a little screw hiding behind there. I'll undo that and see if this whole piece comes off. So to remove this, it just seems like you lever this up and this whole thing comes away. Let's see if we can. So I was reasonably confident how the pilot light worked, heating up the bulb which latched the pilot light on and then would allow the main gas to come on if it was below temperature. But what I am a bit puzzled about is these two wires coming out of here. They remain a mystery. So this is the wire for the ignition, the piezoelectric start sort of thing, goes down into the pilot light down there. But yeah, those two wires, I haven't really seen those on any of the other videos that I've seen. So yeah, I'm curious to see where they go. Well, it's got me, Pete, some sort of two-stage, two-bulb thing to, I guess, a couple of interlock safety mechanisms to ensure that this thing shuts off in case there's any issues. So that bulb was inserted in that. Okay, the insulation's been removed. There's a stainless steel section now, I wasn't expecting that. I'm just going to roll it over and see what else is going on here. So I managed to take the bottom off. It's loosened up this cover. So there we have the outside insulation of the tank. I'm going to roll that off and peel the insulation off and have a look at the tank. Okay, so in there we've obviously got the burner box. Hopefully you can see there's a tube running up the centre there. We've got this outside, I'm assuming it's some sort of heat shield, so I guess it goes up and comes back down and then eventually out of this exit port here. Just for reference, here we have the inlet. I was hoping to perhaps get an immersion heater in there and also be able to still use it as an inlet. I'm not sure if that's possible, but it's kind of a reasonable hole there. I'll pull that out and see what's going on behind there. This is the outlet, and around the other side we have the relief, over temperature relief. I've got to say the insides of this is nothing like how I was expecting it to be. So there's this handle thing that's sitting up there like that before. I'm assuming that's part of the construction, to make it simplify construction. I've loosened these off on both sides and I'm looking to slide this outer shield off. Another one on the other side there. Loosen that off. Take this off. This is what the baffle inside looks like. I get covered in rust. Too bit of effort there, I guess. Okay, so wrong again. This top comes off, and so there's obviously the exhaust vent, and then I'm assuming that it pushes the hot gas around the outside there to get every last bit of energy out to make its final way out of that front port there. I guess so, just pushes it all down around the outside, on the inside of this, outside of the tank. So I think I've removed all the fittings I need to remove from the outside, so hopefully this should just come straight up and off. Here we've got the outside of the tank. Couple hooks there to help with manufacture, I guess. Outlet, inlet, that's that other bulb thing that was inserted, part of the gas control mechanism, and that's where the relief valve was plumbed into. Got a couple of bolts, don't know what they're all about. Maybe they're sacrificial anodes perhaps, I suspect that's what they are. I might pull them out, have a look at them. Had to bash all this apart, but I got the bottom of the gas burner section open, off. This comes off, and I guess it's just condensation over time has just caused this thing to rust and just finally start leaking. That's the end of the video, I guess. It's 15 or 16 years in service. I guess that's not too bad. And finally, here's the collection of hardware fittings that I had to remove to get the various pieces apart. Controller, regulator. There's that tube again that was sitting inside the tank. I think that's a safety, oh no, that was, that kind of went over that, and that was the piece that was sitting inside the tank. Here's a relief valve. I think if things get too hot, that melts and just releases the water. Save the thing from exploding. Well, there you have it, folks. That's a rough tear down of kind of a standard mains water pressure gas hot water system that you might find in Australia, or WA more precisely. We've got the tank, the outer shield, the outer shield, base, top dome that was sitting on top of the tank, some insulation bits, base that was sitting underneath the gas burner, I guess the burner sort of box breather thing, that baffle that went inside the centre, some plastic bits.